Okay, let's get into your reading, Aquarius. Okay, wow. I genuinely need a second with this one because what came through the moment I sat down wasn't just interest, it wasn't casual attraction. This is obsession, the real kind, the kind where a person cannot stop thinking about you no matter how hard they try to redirect their own mind. And here's the twist your guides want you to hear before anything else. This reading is not about rushing back to them. It is about you taking every single bit of the time you actually need on your own terms, at your own pace. Drop a comment right now and say, I take my time. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Okay, let's go all the way in. And before I pull a single card, I want to name exactly what I felt in your energy the moment I connected today. You are in a healing season, not a falling apart season, a genuinely healing one, deliberate and quiet. The kind where you're not chasing anyone, not checking anyone's messages every few minutes, not organizing your whole day around whether someone reaches out to you. And that stillness is exactly what has driven this person into the obsession your guides are about to describe. Because nothing pulls someone in harder than watching someone genuinely heal without them, without needing them to complete the picture at all. And I want to be honest with you about something before we go any further. This reading is not going to tell you to run back to them the second it's over. It's not going to tell you that their obsession means you should drop everything you're doing. Your guides are far more interested in protecting the healing you've already started than they are in rushing you toward any particular outcome, even a happy one. So hold both things at once as we go, the reality of what they feel and the complete uncompromised right you have to keep healing at whatever pace your own heart actually needs. Okay, first oracle card. This isn't a small crush, it's a genuine obsession that surprised even them. And your guides led with this because they want you to feel the actual scale of it. This person did not plan to feel this way. They did not sit down logically and decide to become consumed by thoughts of you. It happened to them. The way obsession always happens, slowly, then all at once, until they looked up one ordinary day and realized you were in every corner of their mind, whether they wanted you there or not, whether it was convenient or not, whether they had room for it in their life or not. And that surprise is part of what makes it real. You cannot fake the specific quality of someone who is genuinely, involuntarily, completely obsessed with another person. Okay, second oracle card. They think about you at the worst possible times and it embarrasses them. And this oracle card gets specific because this isn't a controlled, convenient kind of thinking about you that they can schedule for a quiet moment alone. It happens at work, in meetings, in the middle of conversations with other people where they suddenly lose track of what's being said because your face just appeared in their mind out of absolutely nowhere, completely uninvited, and it embarrasses them because they have always prided themselves on being composed, on being someone who doesn't lose focus over anyone, and you have completely undone that carefully constructed image they had of themselves. Okay, third oracle card. Your absence is louder to them than your presence ever was. And here is something your guides really want you to sit with. The space you've created, the distance, the quiet, the healing time you've deliberately taken for yourself is louder to this person than anything you ever said or did while you were close to them. Because presence is easy to take for granted. Absence is not. Absence has real weight. It sits in a room with you. It follows someone into their car, their bed. The quiet moments right before sleep when there's nothing left to distract them from feeling it fully. And your absence has been following this person absolutely everywhere, every single day, without a break. Okay, fourth oracle card. Your guides are naming something important. You do not owe them your healing timeline. And this is the oracle card I most need you to hear. Because there is a pressure that can quietly creep in when you realize someone is this obsessed with you. A pull to speed things up, to reward the obsession. To think, well, if they feel this much, maybe I should hurry up and let them back in before I've actually finished healing myself first. And your guides are saying clearly, with absolutely no room for confusion, no, their obsession is not a deadline for your healing. It is not a countdown clock you are obligated to beat for them. You get to heal at the pace your own nervous system actually requires, not the pace that would feel most flattering to someone else's longing for you. Okay, fifth oracle card. This obsession has already changed how they treat everyone else. And your guides are showing me something interesting here. This isn't just affecting how they feel about you specifically. It's affecting everything around them in their whole life. They've become distracted with other people, shorter with friends than they used to be, less interested in things that used to hold their attention easily and effortlessly. Because so much of their internal bandwidth is being spent on you that there's genuinely less of them left over for anyone or anything else in their entire life right now. Okay, sixth oracle card. They've tried to talk themselves out of this and it hasn't worked. And this oracle card is honest. And it's important you hear the honesty of it. This person has tried the normal things people try, distraction, telling themselves it will fade with enough time, keeping busy, maybe even dating other people, doing everything a reasonable, sensible person does to get over someone they feel they can't have right now. And none of it has actually worked. Because real obsession doesn't respond to logic or effort or sheer willpower. It responds only to time, to real truth being spoken, and eventually to actual action instead of more avoidance. Okay, seventh oracle card. There's a specific memory of you that they replay more than any other. And your guides are showing me something tender here. There is one particular memory, a small, ordinary moment. Maybe something that felt completely unremarkable to you at the actual time it happened, that this person replays more than any other memory they have. The way you laughed at something small and silly, a specific offhand thing you said once. The way you looked in one particular light, on one particular ordinary day. And that small, unremarkable moment has become, in their mind, one of the most significant memories they carry of anyone at all, anywhere in their life. Okay, eighth oracle card. Healing at your own pace is not selfish. It's the thing that actually makes this real. And your guides want to reframe something important for you because taking your time to heal might feel, at certain moments, like you're being unkind or making them wait too long for no good reason, and your guides want to correct that thought pattern completely. Your healing is not selfish. It is the exact thing that determines whether whatever comes next is built on something real and lasting, or built on urgency and fear of loss instead. A relationship rushed purely to soothe someone else's obsession rarely holds together under real pressure. A relationship entered once you are actually whole again holds for good and doesn't crack the first time things get hard. Okay, ninth oracle card. This person is starting to understand that obsession isn't love yet. It's the beginning of it. And your guides want to be precise here because this genuinely matters. Obsession by itself is not the same thing as love. It's intensity, it's fixation. It can be the beginning of something real and lasting, or it can simply stay stuck at wanting without ever actually growing into loving someone well. And the good news your guides are showing me is that this person is starting to understand that difference clearly. They are beginning to realize that wanting you back means genuinely nothing if they can't actually show up and love you well once they finally get there in front of you. Okay, 10th oracle card. There's a version of them forming that's actually worthy of what you're healing into. And your guides saved this one because it's genuinely hopeful without rushing anything at all. This obsession, painful as it clearly is for them, is actually doing something underneath the surface. It's cracking open patterns they've probably carried for a very long time. Emotional avoidance, fear of real vulnerability, the habit of taking people for granted until they're already gone. And a different version of them is slowly forming underneath all of that discomfort. One that might actually be worthy of the healed, whole version of you that's emerging on the other side of this whole season. Okay, 11th oracle card. Your healing has its own timeline and it will not be rushed by anyone's urgency. And your guides want this repeated clearly because it's the core message underneath the entire reading today. Your healing has its own timeline. It is not on their clock at all. It is not accelerated by how obsessed they become, or by how many times they almost reach out and don't, or by how loudly their longing for you shows up in a spread of cards. Your nervous system, your heart, your own quiet process of becoming whole again moves at exactly the speed it genuinely needs to move at, and not one single bit faster than that. No matter who's waiting. Okay, 12th oracle card. When you do decide to engage again, it will be because you chose it, not because you were pulled by their need. And this oracle card matters most for how this whole thing ultimately resolves. Whatever happens next between you and this person, whether it's a real lasting reunion, a carefully boundaried friendship, or simply you moving forward without them entirely, it is going to happen because you decided it deliberately from a place of genuine strength, not because their obsession finally became loud enough to pull you back in before you were actually ready for that kind of step. Okay, 13th oracle card. This obsession is teaching them something about themselves they've never had to face before. And your guides want to add one more layer here before we move into the tarot spread. Because obsession, uncomfortable as it is, often forces a person to confront something they've successfully avoided their entire life up to now. For this person, it's the discovery that they are not actually as in control of their own heart as they always believed themselves to be. They have prided themselves on composure, on logic, on never being the one who feels too much or too deeply. And you have shattered that entirely, and they are still figuring out what to do with that discovery about who they actually are. Okay, 14th oracle card. The timeline for them reaching out is closer than it feels, but it is still on their side to initiate, not yours. And your guides want to say this clearly. The moment where they finally reach out for real is closer than the current quiet might suggest to you right now. But your guides want to be very, very clear about something. This is theirs to initiate, not yours to chase, not yours to hurry along, not yours to check on every single day, wondering if today is finally the day. You get to simply keep living your own life, keep healing at your own pace, and let whatever is genuinely coming arrive entirely on its own. Okay, 15th oracle card. There's a real chance they surprise you with humility instead of the old defensiveness. And your guides want to offer you something hopeful here too, because the version of this person that emerges from the obsession might genuinely surprise you. The old defensiveness, the old need to be right, the old habit of protecting their ego above everything else. Your guides are showing me those patterns softening. Whatever they eventually bring to you may come with a humility you have never seen from them before, the kind that only comes from someone who has genuinely sat with their own mistakes. Okay, 16th oracle card. No matter how this resolves, you come out of this season more whole than you went in. And your guides saved this final oracle card for last because it's the truest thing they can tell you. Regardless of what happens with this specific person, regardless of whether this becomes a reunion or a closed chapter, you are coming out of this healing season more whole than you went into it, more certain of your own worth, more comfortable with your own company, more able to tell the difference between being wanted and being truly loved well. The moon, the devil reversed, the Knight of Cups, the Page of Cups, the Queen of Swords, the Hermit, the Four of Swords, the Nine of Swords, Strength, the Empress, the Two of Cups, the Ten of Cups, the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, Judgment, the Sun, the Star, 17 cards. And I want to take real, unhurried time with every single one of them because together they tell the complete story. The moon first. And the moon is obsession in its purest, most undiluted form. The dream state, can't tell what's real energy of someone completely consumed by feeling, unable to find solid ground underneath any of it. This card confirms exactly what the oracle cards already showed. This person is living right now in a kind of fog made entirely of thoughts of you, and the fog is not lifting on its own anytime soon. And the devil reversed, and this is important, so I want to slow down here for a moment, because upright, the devil is unhealthy attachment, control, an addictive bond that traps both people in something neither one can quite name or escape. Reversed. It's the breaking of exactly those chains. And what this tells me is that whatever unhealthy pattern existed between you two before, the chasing, the taking for granted, the imbalance in who was always showing up more, is genuinely loosening its grip now. This obsession, as intense as it clearly is not pulling either of you back into the old, unhealthy version of the bond you used to share. And the Knight of Cups. And this is romantic pursuit in full motion. Someone riding forward, led entirely by feeling rather than by any careful strategy, chasing something they want with their whole heart out in front of them like a banner. This is their energy right now. Not calculated, not manipulative in the slightest. Just genuinely emotionally driven toward you, even when they know full well that you're not ready yet. And the Page of Cups. And this is the message that's forming inside them right now. Young, sincere, a little unsure of itself, kind of energy, holding something out with both hands and quietly hoping it isn't dropped or rejected outright. Whatever they eventually say to you is going to carry that same sincerity, not smooth, not rehearsed to a shining polish, just genuinely offered the way a real, unpolished confession usually sounds when it finally comes out. And the Queen of Swords, and this is also you sitting right alongside the Hermit in this reading, clear-eyed, discerning, not cold at all, just no longer willing to give her heart away freely to anyone who hasn't earned the right to actually hold it carefully. This queen doesn't chase, doesn't beg, doesn't shrink herself down to make anyone else more comfortable. She simply sees clearly and waits patiently for someone to actually meet her at that exact level. And the Hermit, and this is you as well, your season of withdrawal, your choice to step back, go quiet, sit with your own lantern instead of chasing anyone else's light or waiting endlessly on anyone else's timeline. And the Hermit is one of the most powerful cards you could possibly be living inside of right now, because it's the card of real, genuine self-discovery and deep, necessary healing, not isolation for its own sake at all. And the Four of Swords, and this is rest, recovery, the deliberate, chosen stillness that actually repairs what constant motion never could have on its own. This card confirms that your healing season isn't wasted time, isn't you falling behind on anything important. It's the exact medicine you genuinely needed all along and are finally giving yourself. And the Nine of Swords, and this is their sleepless anxiety shown to me plainly. Lying awake at night, mind racing, unable to quiet the thoughts that circle back to you every single night without fail or mercy. This card confirms the obsession has a very real cost for them personally, and it's not a comfortable cost for them to carry alone. And strength, and this is your composure through all of this. Your ability to feel the pull of their intensity without letting it override your own timeline or your own genuine needs. The woman in this card doesn't fight the lion or run from it in fear. She holds it gently with total, unshakable authority that comes from within her. And that's exactly what you're doing with this entire situation right now, whether you fully realize it yet or not. And the Empress, and this is who you are becoming on the other side of your healing journey. Abundant, creative, full in yourself, radiating outward without needing anyone to fill you up first before you can shine. And this Empress energy is exactly what's pulling this person's obsession deeper and deeper by the day, because there is nothing more magnetic in this world than someone who has stopped waiting and started genuinely living again. And the Two of Cups. And this is mutual choosing if and when it eventually genuinely comes. Two people facing each other directly, both fully present and both fully in it, with no one holding back. This card shows the potential outcome, not forced, not rushed. Just two people genuinely choosing each other from equal, solid ground this time around. And the Ten of Cups. And this is the emotional fulfillment waiting quietly on the other side of all of this, whatever shape it ultimately ends up taking for you, complete, whole, nothing at all missing from the picture this time. And this card is a promise that your story does not end in longing or unresolved, endless waiting for something that never comes. And the Ace of Wands, and this is passion reignited from real solid ground, a fresh spark, genuine energy, the kind of beginning that feels alive and forward moving rather than desperate or anxious underneath the surface of it. And the Ace of Pentacles. And this is the real tangible proof that all of this isn't staying purely emotional. A concrete opportunity, a genuine door opening in the physical world, something you'll actually be able to see and hold and stand inside of, not just feel privately in your own heart. Whatever comes from this is going to be real in the world, not just real in someone's private thoughts. And Judgment. And this is the awakening, both of you in your own separate ways, rising into a clearer, more honest version of yourselves individually, whether or not those two separate paths ever fully meet back up together in the end. And the Sun, and this is joy, plain and simple, without complication or any hidden weight underneath it. Whatever comes next in your story, it is heading somewhere genuinely, uncomplicatedly warm. And the Star, and this closes the entire spread on hope, finally confirmed after everything. Every quiet hope you've had about your own healing, about what's genuinely possible for you going forward, was right to exist all along and worth holding on to through the hard parts. Okay. Tea leaf cards, 11 of them. First tea leaf card. What they do the moment they're alone. And your guides are showing me the private moments, the second they're alone, driving, in the shower, lying in bed with the lights already off. Their mind goes straight to you every single time, without fail. It's involuntary. It happens before they even consciously decide to let it happen at all. Like a reflex they can't control. Next tea leaf card. The moment they finally admit this out loud to someone, and there's a moment coming where they finally say it out loud to someone else, a friend, a sibling, someone they actually trust enough to be honest with, I can't stop thinking about them. And saying it out loud makes it real in a way that thinking it privately, alone, never quite managed to do for them. Next tea leaf card. Why your silence has done more than words ever could, and your guides want you to understand why the silence has worked the way it has. Words can be argued with, dismissed, explained away with excuses. Silence can't be. Silence just sits there, undeniable and unmoving, forcing someone to finally face what they actually feel instead of what they can talk themselves into believing or out of feeling on any given day. Next tea leaf card. What healing actually looks like for you right now. And your guides want to describe your healing honestly and plainly. It doesn't look dramatic at all. It looks like ordinary days, quiet mornings, slowly remembering who you are outside of any relationship whatsoever, outside of being anyone's anything at all. And that ordinary, undramatic kind of healing is exactly what's actually working for you right now, even on the days it doesn't feel like progress. Next tea leaf card. What you don't owe anyone even now, and your guides want this said plainly, with absolutely no room for guilt to sneak back in. You don't owe anyone your timeline, not a fast response, not a quick decision, not gratitude for someone finally noticing what they honestly should have valued the entire time you were already right there beside them. Next tea leaf card. How their behavior around others is already shifting because of this, and people close to them have already started to notice something is different, a distraction that wasn't there before, a shorter temper than usual, a person who used to be fully present in conversation now drifting somewhere else entirely in their own head, mid-sentence sometimes, more often than they ever used to before any of this began with you. Next tea leaf card. What changes in them once real accountability sets in? And there's a real shift coming in how they see their own role in all of this. Less blame pointed outward at circumstances, more honest ownership pointed squarely at themselves. Finally realizing what they didn't do, what they took for granted, and sitting with that discomfort directly instead of deflecting it or running from it the way they might have before all of this. Next tea leaf card. A moment coming where they see something of yours and it hits differently than before, and your guides are showing me a specific small moment. They see something of yours, a photo, a post, something completely simple and unremarkable on the surface, and it hits them very differently than it ever has before. Not because anything about you changed dramatically overnight, but because they're finally seeing you clearly instead of through the old filter of taking you for granted the way they used to. And that small, quiet moment does something 1,000 conversations never quite managed to do for them. Next tea leaf card. What it will feel like in your own body when they finally reach out. And your guides want you genuinely prepared for this moment whenever it actually comes for you. You won't feel desperate relief flooding through you. You won't feel like you've been rescued from anything. You'll feel calm, steady. The specific, grounded feeling of someone who healed enough on her own that this now feels like a genuine bonus in her life, not a rescue she was desperately waiting for all along. Next tea leaf card. The version of this story where you never look back. And your guides want to name this possibility clearly because it's just as valid and complete as any reunion story could be. There's a version of your story where you heal fully, build something entirely new for yourself, and simply never need to look back at any of this at all, not even once. And that version is just as complete, just as good, and just as whole as any other path the cards could show you today. And the last tea leaf card, you whole at your own pace, whichever way this goes. And your guides ended here because this is the image they want you to hold above absolutely everything else in this reading. You whole. Not rushed by anyone, not defined by someone else's obsession with you, simply healing on your own time, whichever direction this story ultimately ends up taking you toward next. Okay, final message from your guides. Just one. Take your time. Nothing about their obsession changes your timeline. Take your time. That's the whole instruction. One instruction. Just that. Because the moon confirmed the obsession is completely real. And the Hermit and the Queen of Swords confirmed your healing is valid and genuinely needed right now. And Strength confirmed you can hold all of this without being pulled off your own path by it. And the Empress confirmed the fullness you are growing into, with or without anyone else. And the Star confirmed every quiet hope you have about your own future was right to hold on to through all of it. So take your time, however long that turns out to actually be, without apology to anyone at all. Okay, to bring this home, they're obsessed, and you get to take all the time you need. And the cards showed us everything. Your guides told us this isn't a small crush, it's real obsession that genuinely surprised even them. That they think of you at the worst possible times and it embarrasses them deeply. That your absence is louder to them than your presence ever was. That you do not owe them your healing timeline no matter how much they long for you. That this obsession has already changed how they treat everyone else around them. That they've tried to talk themselves out of it and it simply hasn't worked. That there's one specific memory of you they replay more than any other. That healing at your own pace is what makes this real instead of rushed and fragile. That obsession isn't love yet, it's only the beginning of it. That a worthier version of them is slowly forming underneath the discomfort of all this. That your healing has its own timeline, completely immune to anyone's urgency. That whatever happens next will happen because you chose it, not because you were pulled toward it. That this obsession is teaching them something about their own heart they've never had to face before. That the timeline for them reaching out is closer than it feels, but it remains entirely theirs to initiate. That there's a real chance they surprise you with genuine humility instead of old defensiveness. And that no matter how any of this resolves, you come out of this season more whole than you went into it. The moon showed the obsession itself plainly and completely. The Devil reversed showed old unhealthy patterns finally, genuinely loosening their grip. The Knight of Cups showed their emotional, heart-led pursuit of you. The Page of Cups showed the sincere, nervous message forming inside them right now. The Queen of Swords and the Hermit and the Four of Swords together confirmed your valid, genuinely powerful healing season. The Nine of Swords showed the real sleepless cost this is taking on them personally. Strength showed your composure holding steady through all of it. The Empress showed the magnetic wholeness you're growing into with or without them in the picture. The Two of Cups and the Ten of Cups together showed the possibility of real mutual fulfillment down the road ahead. The Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles showed passion reignited alongside something real and tangible in the physical world. Judgment showed both of you awakening, each in your own separate way. And the Sun and the Star closed the entire spread on warmth and every quiet hope finally completely confirmed. One instruction: take your time. Nothing about their obsession changes your timeline. Not even a little bit. Claim this, loves. Drop a comment and say, I take my time and I heal at my own pace. And my healing is not selfish, because every word of that is true. Save this, share it today, and come back and tell me how your own healing is going, wherever you are in it right now. If this resonated, please give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment and tell me what hit hardest. And if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe and turn on that notification bell. And one last thing before you go, whatever happens next in this story, whether they show up exactly the way your guides described, or whether this chapter simply closes quietly on its own, you are not the same person who started this healing season. You have already built something in yourself that no one can undo, no one can rush, and no one can take from you. Carry that. Take care of yourself. Bye, loves.